It is Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. It is now 6:04 p.m., and this is a regular City Commission meeting of the City of West Miami. This meeting is called to order. Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, can I introduce him?
Vice Mayor.
Okay, I'll sit down. Good evening. Actually, we have an introduction this evening before we begin. I'm thrilled to welcome Pastor Evelio Vilches as our very first West Miami Police Chaplain. I'm going to say a little bit about him, and then he's going to come up to do our invocation. Sorry, everybody's standing already. Pastor Vilches is a lifelong Miamian, and he's lived in the surrounding communities for over 30 years. He's an ordained minister in the Presbyterian Church, and he has dedicated over 20 years of serving South Florida in both the English and Spanish ministries. For the past 5 years, he has served as an assistant pastor at Granada Church in Coral Gables, where he leads youth and family ministries and serves as a chaplain for their day school, supporting families and staff from across our community. He's also an active member of the Miami-Dade County Interfaith Advisory Board, which fosters collaborations and unity among diverse faith communities. He has a deep passion for supporting military personnel and first responders, honoring their sacrifices and commitment to protecting our safety and freedoms. And he is currently in the process to serve as a reserve chaplain in the United States Air Force, which is a testament to his dedication to service. Beyond his professional and spiritual accomplishments, Evelio is a devoted husband and proud father, and we're excited to grow our city family as Evelio joins our community in this vital role. So on behalf of the City of West Miami, please join me in welcoming Pastor Vilches. I look forward to your positive impact on our officers and your guidance on our community and your leadership in supporting our department and all of our community. Thank you so much, and with that, I welcome you to do our invocation tonight.
Thank you. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you giving you thanks, Lord, that we could gather together as a community, knowing that you've brought us together here. Lord, I pray over all the commissioners, Lord, everyone in this room, the residents, God, over this wonderful city that you've given us the privilege to be a part of. Lord, as we continue this evening, God, give us grace, give us wisdom, Lord, in every word that is spoken. God, let us always remember that we and everyone around us, Lord, are created in your image. So let us treat one another with respect, with grace, and with your love. We thank you, Lord. We pray all these things in your name. Amen.
To the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Yes, item 3, roll call. Mayor Eric Diaz-Padrón.
Here.
Vice Mayor Natalie Emiliano Orbis.
Here.
Commissioner Juan Blanes is not present at this moment. Commissioner Ivan Chavez Jr. is excused, and Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Present. Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, presentation of minutes for approval for October 16, 2024, regular commission meeting.
Motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Next item, please.
Item 5, public comments, and on the public comments, we have, allow me 1 minute, Mr. Mayor. We have Yolanda Aguilar.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Commissioner, staff. My name is Yolanda Aguilar. I live at 6404 Southwest 12th Street. I'm here this evening to express my concerns once again on various issues. The city has lost 2 valuable tenured experienced employees with years of institutional knowledge, one the water department clerk, a crucial desk, and your main facilities and maintenance employee, and as previously stated, others who are looking to leave. And now you're facing a real possibility of losing at least a third of the West Miami Police Department, officers that are leaving to other agencies. And contrary to what they're telling you, these officers are leaving because they feel demoralized given current working conditions. This is telling of what's going on in the leadership. This issue is of great importance to our residents, to me as well. All the while, the city manager enjoys a salary package valued at $375,000 a year, including extremely rich benefits in a city with 8,200 residents and 3/4 square mile. And it's not funny, Mr. Mayor. We, the taxpayers, are footing the bill. While expenses are out of control in every department, in every category, and morale at an all-time low, employees are afraid of losing their jobs because, in essence, two camps have been established by the current administration, and this is sad. Team Silva and the other, the former administration, yours truly. To make matters worse, the chief of staff and the deputy city manager, one of Mr. Silva's very own hires, was just terminated days ago from her job. Unknown, the reason is unknown. As commissioners of the city, you should be taking a deep dive at the overall decline and dysfunction going on in our small city, and the frustrations that are being felt by some city residents who have requested meetings with the administration on matters affecting their property, and only a select few have access to you all or the city administration. I urgently call upon the leaders of this city, please stop your grandstanding, curtail expenses, curtail your boards and committees that you're stacking up with your own people, which require budget expenditures, curtail parties, and so on, and concentrate on the dysfunction of the government so that we can depart from that dysfunction, if you want to call it that, and start by addressing salary inequities on the that are creating a turmoil in our city. It really is high time that you all regroup. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. I don't mean any offensive remarks. I'm trying to keep it all very respectful, because believe it or not, some of you have a special place in my heart. Business is business. So I leave you with that, and I beg you, I plead with you, because I'm a city resident, a lifetime resident. I think you need to start taking a look, serious look from within. Thank you. I wish you and your families all a very happy holiday season.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Yes, next speaker. Next speaker is Luz Freire.
Name and address for the record.
Hello, good evening to all of you. I'm Luz Freire. I live at 6367 Southwest 10th Street. My only complaint today is very simple. The elevator over here has been down since April. I'm disabled. You might not think so, but I am. Anyhow, you shouldn't have meetings here if that elevator is not working. It's the American Disability Act. You might want to look into that. There was one person that couldn't come up here 2 meetings ago because the elevator wasn't working and she couldn't manipulate her stroller, the baby stroller. So she had to leave. I think that's pretty pitiful. So that's all I have to say. I want to say more, but I'm going to leave that alone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Next speaker, Yadira Faurest.
Hello. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Yadira Forrest. I live at 5781 Southwest 14th Street. I know you since you went to my house and knocked on my door, and you were saying you were going to try to fix the city. And the first thing I told you, let's keep it small, because I'm used to living here for almost 40 years. And I noticed that most of the parties that you throwing out, which is good, we used to have 3 parties a year. That would be Christmas, 4th of July, and Easter. And it was like, I felt like I was in a small city up north where only the resident of West Miami went. Since only the resident of West Miami went only to those activities, we had the budget to give our residents, they used to give us free food, watermelon, water, soda for the kids, snow cones. Now you're bringing in trucks where they're very expensive. People from other cities are coming into our celebration, which I think is not right, because I don't go to Hialeah, I don't go to Coral Gables. I know you want to make West Miami like Coral Gables. this is not Coral Gable, this is West Miami. If I want to live in Coral Gable, I will sell my house and move to Coral Gable. I love this city. I told my daughter the only day I'll leave this city, it will be in a casket. Because I feel like it's family. I walk all the street, everybody knows me. Even my daughter goes, you should run for mayor, everybody knows you. Because I'm polite to everybody. I even help the elderly when they want to cross the street. And another thing is the new system that you have, I know you're going to get more modern. With the phone, with the recording, I feel like I'm talking to a robot. Before it was more like family, talking to a family when you call in here. Now you got press 1, press 2. By the time you finish, you don't know which one you want. I think it should be more like, more family type, not a robot. We're not robots, not yet, but soon we'll be. And the other thing is, like I said, let's keep West Miami small. Nobody knew who we were, because when I moved here 40 years ago, I went to put the water, and when I called water and sewer, they told me, are you sure you're in a house? I said, yes, this house was built back in the 40s. That means they didn't even know West Miami exists. That's when I learned how to come here to the city. So that makes me feel good, because I like to be in a small city where I can know my people. But now there's a lot of people coming from everywhere. You advertise our own parties to everybody. And I think it belongs to us because we are the taxpayers, not them. We don't get money from them. I don't know if you do or don't, but let's keep it small. Like, there's been a lot of violence lately, a lot of traffic. Look at the shooting we had the other day. Look at a girl that got kidnapped. And not only that, there's a lot of traffic. We didn't have this much traffic going to the streets. And like I say, I want to keep this city because I love being here. I love my city. I tell everybody I'm proud of my city. But let's keep it small. Too many business, that's bad for us because it brings a lot of people. Now I've seen like 4 homeless. I had never seen homeless in here.
Thank you for your remarks. I appreciate you coming out. There's a lot of things that I'm not sure are accurate on the crime and violence part and the homeless part. But like because
I know you.
You call me for a lot of different things.
Yes,
and
I do, and
I
you
always
take care of
answer
me,
your phone call.
right?
So
that's why I'm here to tell you.
This is the first time you've ever expressed anything of like this to me out of all the phone calls you've ever made to me.
Right.
But I appreciate.
But I would like
your
if you could
comments.
take it and consider. Let's keep a small city. We should have one day one of those days saying, go out and meet your neighbors. That would be nice, I know all my neighbors. You can ask anybody. I know my neighbors.
Well, it looks like it's working.
Okay?
Anyways, thank you.
So
I
let's
appreciate
keep it small, please.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I just respond to something?
You would
I'm
like to?
sorry, I know we're in the public comments, but you mentioned a young lady that was kidnapped. I think you might be referring to a young lady that was missing, and she was found the next day.
It was a runaway.
And she had
No,
run
but
away from...
I do want to correct some things because it was a runaway. The shooting was also not in our city.
Right.
That shooting that occurred was not in the city of West Miami. So just going to clarify some points on this violence. This is not accurate. Next speaker, please.
Can I say something? There's the population that we're getting too many people inside the city.
They're not in the city.
Around the city.
Well, I can't control what's around the city.
I don't see when they're the building on 67, we complain about it and they put a barricade. Those people not allowed in here. They gotta go to 67.
All right, we have to move on. Thank you.
I like to bring my kids here.
Go ahead. Next
No
speaker.
further speakers, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Let's move on. Let's take an item out of order. We have Scott Janowitz here. Go ahead.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes. So we have Mr. Scott Janowitz, and the City of West Miami proudly recognizes Mr. Scott Janowitz today on his recent appointment as the General Magistrate for the Miami-Dade Circuit Civil Division. And as a dedicated member of our committee and the City of West Miami family, this appointment reflects his commitment to the legal profession and his service to our residents. And we want to recognize Scott today and thank you for his lovely family being here tonight as well to support him and support us. So Scott, if you can come up for a second, we'd love to recognize you and congratulations.
Scott is one of our best residents, most active residents, serving on multiple boards and committees for us in his time, and Yona and PTA of Sylvania. And it just shows the respect that he had as time serving as judge to now have this new position, which is so important in our community. So we're very thankful to have you in our community, and we congratulate you again. Next item, please.
Yes, item 6, report of the city manager.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission, and residents. First of all, I would like to be able to ask to add a couple of resolutions onto the agenda. One is on the FPL easement at the rec center that we need to do to underground and provide the power. And the other one is a good news one. It's an Art in Public Places from a Sister Cities initiative that you all undertook, and we're receiving a sculpture that we're going to be relocating into the city of West Miami. The rest of my manager's comments and reports are in my manager's report that I give you every monthly, along with a recap on some responses that I think is pertinent that you all have. And with that, I conclude my report.
All right, can we get a motion to add these
Motion.
items to the agenda? We got a motion.
Motion.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. These items are now added. Next item, please.
Item 7, report of the city attorney.
No report from the city attorney.
No
Next item,
report.
please.
Item 8, report of the city engineer.
I don't see him.
He asked to be excused today. He had another event that he had to attend. His report is he's still working the same things that he was last month, and he'll give a further full description at the next meeting.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 9, committee reports.
Yes, Mayor,
Go ahead.
I want to make a report from the senior center. As you know, I am the director of the senior center of the city, because what we call the Comedor. And today we have to give our thanks to the Miccosukee tribe. They donated the turkeys for our Comedor, the senior that come here to have the lunch, the dinner, whatever. Sometimes this is the only meal they have in the day, and also the Meals on Wheels. So they were very helpful for us with the situation when it's related to the Thanksgiving Day for years, for over almost 20 years. So I want to the city and all you present here and the residents that are watching that the Miccosukee tribe deserve, our gratitude, and I want to make this comment to everybody. So
No.
thank you to the Miccosukee tribe in the name of all our residents, the seniors and the Meals on Wheels.
Thank you, Commissioner. And the Miccosukee tribe donated the turkeys. The Vice Mayor and I were out there distributing them to homebound residents earlier today. Our great thanks to the Miccosukee tribe for always coming through for the city and its residents. If there's any other committee reports? Seeing none, next item.
Item 10, we have a couple of items under unfinished business. If one of you wants to defer or make any modifications to those items, please.
Well, I don't see Anthony Verona here, so I'd like to defer B, C, D, and E indefinitely. Likely till next meeting, but indefinitely.
Can I make a quick comment?
Go ahead.
On the appointments to the Branding Committee and the Art Advisory Committee, it would be really helpful if we could determine approximately what dates and times these boards are going to meet, because obviously the first thing that I get when I reach out to
Right.
folks is, when are we meeting? So they know that it
Yeah,
can
that's
make it.
that's
So
one of the reasons I wanted to defer,
yeah,
with a hammer out some things.
that would be, and I did have an appointment for one of them, but
Oh, you can just hold it for,
for the next meeting. Okay,
Correct.
perfect.
so let's just take item A.
Okay.
Well, first of all, let's have a motion to defer indefinitely B, C, D, and E. Do you have a motion?
B, C, D, and E?
B, C, D, and E.
Yeah,
Yes.
motion to defer.
Now,
Motion?
I want to clarify.
Yep.
You make a recommendation for the code enforcement.
Sorry?
We're going to make appointments
Yes,
for the.
that's
code
still
enforcement.
on there.
Yes.
That's your recommendation. And what about the art board?
Art board, youth board, branding are all going to be deferred.
That would be the first, okay. Perfect, okay, they are not here, okay.
Can you, second the motion?
Yeah, I vote yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, item A.
Item 10A, appointment of members to fill vacancies on the Code Enforcement Board.
Is there any appointments for the Code Enforcement Board?
Yes, I have someone to
Go
appoint
ahead.
code enforcement, Mr. Robert Silver.
Robert Silva?
So I move to appoint him, and I will get that information over to the clerk so
Okay.
that she can contact him.
Commissioner,
Yes.
any appointments?
No,
Okay. I have here from the clerk an appointment from Commissioner Chavez, Gabriel Garcia to the Code Enforcement Board.
Duly noted.
We have those two appointments. Next item, please.
So next item, Mr. Mayor, we go then to new business agenda items. And under new business agenda items, item 11B, this is a second reading and a public hearing. An ordinance of the Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, clarifying city authority to undertake certain remedies in connection with dangerous nuisance situations threatening public health and safety due to abandoned or non-maintained property or other neglect by owners, providing for enforcement, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Public hearing on this item is now open. Anyone who wishes to speak on this item, do so now. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Back to the board. Any questions or concerns on this item?
Can I just ask the manager to briefly
Of course.
explain to us, for the benefit of the public, what
Yes.
this item does and how it helps the city?
Go ahead, Mr. Manager.
Yes, thank you. This is just to allow us to perform upkeep on code cases that just don't want to, that are not responding to our code enforcement. And we want to make sure that we keep the city of West Miami looking as pristine and as good as possible. So this is just giving us another tool in our arsenal to be able to go out and cut a lawn that's overgrown, remove a hazardous condition, and allow us to then therefore put a lien on that property if needed to recoup our costs. But this is really to help us keep our city and its appearance as good as we possibly can, and to take care of some of those very rare cases where we have to step in because there's just no other alternative.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Do we have a motion?
yes,
Second.
A motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
yes,
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
3-0, item passes.
thank you. Next item.
Items 11C, second reading and public hearing, an ordinance of the Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, providing that no trucks of 3 or more axles shall drive on Sylvania Boulevard within West Miami city limits, with exceptions providing for enforcement, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
This is a public hearing. The public hearing on this item is now open. Anyone who wishes to speak on this item, please come forward now.
Yeah,
We
I-
have a speaker. Name and address for the record.
Thank you. Yolanda Aguilar, 6404 Southwest 12th Street, West Miami, Florida, 33144. Have you taken into account or created any type of exception for our own commercial vehicles that provide a service to the Sylvania Boulevard area? If you're limiting these size trucks from traveling through the area?
Yeah, Mr. Manager, you want to take it? Administration item.
This is just only for the Sylvania Avenue from one point to the other. There's other ways to get into that area. Obviously, if there's a maintenance truck that's a maintenance truck, a lawn mowing company and all that, and those kind of services, they will be allowed on Sylvania.
And your own city trucks, correct? The garbage, trash, jet vacuum truck, all the other trucks?
Through the mayor, I'll respond.
Yeah,
And
please.
yes, of course, our city trucks and our sanitation trucks will be able to use
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions on this item?
well, this is the Sylvania, is where the fountain is.
Mhm.
And they have a lot of problems with every time they go out the fountain, they destroy the border.
Commissioner Diaz, that's exactly
The
where
big
the issue's
trucks.
coming from, is the 18-wheeler trucks. that are using that as a cut-through from 8th Street to 57th, continuously are hitting the the water lines that feed the fountain, and it's becoming a headache. So this is our way of trying to slow down that damage.
Yeah, there has been for years, has been this problem with the big trucks in that area. No, I make a motion.
Go to the mic.
Luz Freire, 6367 Southwest 10th Street. Does that include moving trucks as well?
Mr. Manager, context.
There will be exceptions for moving trucks, because moving trucks are not 18-wheelers that have 3 axles. They usually are the box trucks that will be able to go in there.
Okay, I just wanted to check. Thank you.
Now, I have a question for the manager. The signs will be posted there, right?
There will be signs.
So the drivers or the big truck, they know, if they see that, they know they cannot go through.
Yes, sir. There will be signs posted on the
Because
road.
construction trucks and many things I seen.
And this is really,
We have to announce, we have to put it.
that is correct, and we'll have signs that allow the resident, the user of the street to know that no three-wheeler trucks will be allowed on that road.
Yeah, because Sylvania is one of the our main avenues that we have there. It's a diagonal, you know, that is beautification for the city too.
That's
It's nice.
that's correct, but the issue is that the big trucks are cutting through. They're trying to avoid the traffic on 8th Street, and that's what's creating the issues that we're having at that traffic circle that one of these days is going to eventually have to be redesigned, because it wasn't really done exactly the way it should have been.
Do we have a motion on this?
Yeah, we make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis,
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón.
Yes.
3-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 11D, second reading and public hearing, an ordinance of the Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, prohibiting parking of vehicles on swells on 12th Street and 13th Street between 57th Avenue and 58th Avenue, and streets adjacent to Sylvania Heights Elementary School, other than by residents and guests of such residents displaying parking identification permits in their vehicles, providing for enforcement, providing for conflict severability, and an effective date.
This item is a public hearing. Public hearing is now open.
Yes,
Anyone
Mr.
who wishes to
Mayor, we
speak?
have a speaker, Leticia
Yes.
Vega.
Please, to the clerk. What are the reasons we are doing this ordinance? How are you?
Leticia Vega, 5731 Southwest 13th Street. Mayor Padron, Commissioners, I thank you for this ordinance, and I've submitted a signed petition that actually I was able to collect in a very short amount of time for the residents that are unable to be here at this meeting today in support of this ordinance, to help alleviate some of the issues that we're having due to the not having sufficient parking spots and the gym that's opened up at that 1200 57th Avenue location. One thing that, in speaking to residents, wanted to make sure is that this parking permit would not cost the residents any more money, so that was one of the concerns. The other concern was making sure that if we have guests or visitors, that would be, okay, we won't get our guests towed away. And that also signage is posted to make sure that people are aware of this parking new regulation. So,
Yes, so we have answers for all three things. Mr. Manager?
Yes, let me start off with, this has been an ongoing issue that's actually mushroomed this year and has become and we're very aware of the concerns that all the residents have in that area. We've been trying to work diligently with the school board, the district offices, to try to get a conclusion. There's more solutions than
Well,
just...
she's next to the
Oh,
commercial arts.
yes,
I'm so sorry, because
Yeah,
this
there's two.
resolution
Yeah.
has 2 parts to it, and I thought it was a school. Your area, I'm more than aware of all the issues that you're having there. We are going to give you a placard that you can, that's portable. It's not just a sticker on your car, it's portable. We're going to give three or, I think it's four to each resident, so that will take care of you and some visitors. And all we just ask of the residents in the area is to put the placard somewhere where the police officers can see it, so that we won't ticket a guest or you. That is not our intent. Our intent is to try to cut down on some of the parking that's in the swale area, to give you a little bit of peace of mind, a little bit of quality of life back.
And to your point of the towing, we don't tow for that, we ticket. This is not a pilot program, but it is very much a ongoing thing that we'll monitor. So if there is any hiccups or things in the program, we will come back quickly to adjust it. But we'll rely on you and your neighbors to tell us how that's going.
Thank you so much.
All right. Anyone else for public hearing on this item?
No, Mr. Mayor.
We have some.
Oh, Mike, please.
Hi, Yadira Forrest, 5781 Southwest 14th Street. I'm proud that you put the humps right in the back of 14th Street where the school is, which is really good. But I think we should email the director of the school, the principal, to tell the parents, send them an email like they sent it to me, because my grandson is on 8th Street and I park at El Dorado. They send this email saying that it's a private parking, not to park anymore. We respect it and we don't park there anymore. These people, they drop their kids, they come through 16, then they go to, they come out in the back of the school. Once they hit the stop sign right on 59, they get like 50 miles per hour. They come right through my house, they go through the top of the circle. Like they say, my kids at school, I don't care anymore. Because the other day, I almost got run over with my dog.
Yeah, listen,
They don't respect that, so it's,
Yeah.
anyway, we could put more, like going through 57, because they do that to cut,
Yeah.
Where the policemen are, they do that on purpose, to cut the policemen so they don't get a
course.
ticket.
So I'll address 3 points you made.
And there's a lot of traffic on 14th Street, a lot.
Yeah,
From
so,
the school.
well, first of all, when I first ran for mayor, and I say this, and I said this consistently, you're not unique in your street in that
Yeah.
situation. Every street had sort of a similar concern. My street is a highway, I mean, just because there's a lot of cut-through traffic in the city. So we started to address that. Obviously, you've seen some of the results of that with the speed humps.
Yes.
We are continuing to identify the best look, because, and look, I wish we could put them on every street, right?
Right.
But
No,
it
but
just,
especially the one where the school is, where
Of
they
course.
come on the back.
Yeah,
That
so-
street
so-
should have it all the way to 57, because
right.
the problem is, we have we should have kept the stop signs.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish they respected the stop signs as well,
We
because-
have the stop signs,
Yeah.
but they took them off.
Yeah.
And they'll respect more stop sign than you.
So we're trying to, that was by the county.
Yeah,
back
just
in
like
day.
the issue you're talking about, Sylvania,
Yeah.
they gave from the 8th Street all the way to
Yeah,
58 to cut traffic, like 100 miles per hour.
yeah, so the second point is on the school. We have been in constant communication with the school and with the school district. And we are finalizing some things that we think will also alleviate the problem. Obviously, this is a big way to alleviate it, but on their side as well. So we're very hopeful that soon that will be resolved. And like I said, we're going to continue to implement
No, I
traffic.
appreciate everything you have done, because every time I ask you something, you do go ahead and do it. So what I'm saying, to
No,
prevent,
I got you.
I want to prevent a car hitting me, that's what I want to prevent.
I think we all are trying to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers on this item? Go ahead.
Yolanda Aguilar, 6404 Southwest 12th Street, West Miami, Florida, 33144. My question is as follows. Are our speed bumps approved by Miami-Dade County under an interlocal agreement that the city executed a while back ago?
Yes, Mr. Manager.
That is correct. Under that interlocal agreement,
Correct.
there is certain steps and requirements that you need to do. Once you fulfill those requirements and you have that on file, you can put speed tables in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment on, public hearing on this item? Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Back to the board. Any questions, concerns, or motions?
Well,
Go
yeah,
ahead, Commissioner.
I have a question because I don't see this clear. 57th Avenue. and then 12th Street and 13th Street. This is not close to Sylvania High. Sylvania High in the 16th
Hold
Street.
on, let me interrupt you there for,
So-
these are two different zones? Two
I'm
different zones?
talking about D.
Yeah, there are two different zones being contemplated, okay? One zone is by Sylvania. The other zone, which is the original zone that this ordinance came for, is where Ms. Vega lives, which is around the restaurant and the martial arts studio on 57th. They're two different areas.
So D.
D has two areas. One is that
Yeah,
12th and 13th Street.
That's what I
Right.
don't see this clear. In D, you put together the two items, and
Correct.
that's not correct.
Two areas. Same item, two areas.
Because the 12th Street, 57th Avenue is because of business. 57th Avenue is because the Certo and because all the business.
Mhm.
The people park across the 57th Avenue, Coral Gables area. Because one of these pictures is a traffic Coral Gables. I mean,
Commissioner, that is correct, but the solution for both areas is the same, to give the residents a placard that says approved resident parking, so that we can enforce the ones that are not approved, we can enforce parking on the ones that are not approved. We're having on 57th Avenue on 12th and 13th Street, we're having spillover, especially on the weekends, on people parking in front of everybody's houses up and down the swales, to the point where it's really even become confrontational in the past. So this is one way of trying to alleviate that issue, and it's the same solution that we're trying to use for the area around Sylvania, which is also mushroomed with this school year.
I understand that the parking is a problem, but in this case, in this item D, both areas are together. And I understand the 57th Avenue, the people park in Coral Gables area, we don't have jurisdiction over Coral Gables.
But we're not
No,
trying
we're
to.
not
doing that.
Hold on, Commissioner, because I want to tell you, because you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
You're going somewhere that is off what we're trying to do. We are not talking about the Coral Gables area. We are not trying to.
I'm talking about the pictures, because.
But these
Coral-
pictures aren't our, these pictures were submitted by residents. I was
But-
talking about the ordinance that are.
Yes,
that is
yeah,
in
I
front of us.
understand that, but the 57th Avenue, 12th and 13th Street, the parking in those streets is one item, one problem we have with the business down the strip. Now, in Sylvania, that you put together, is the same thing that the people for years has been parking in the houses across the
Mr. Mayor,
16,
may I?
in front of the
Let
school,
me finish.
right? That's what you make a reference here.
Right, it's not the problem that's been happening for years, though, it's the problem that's happened this year. Because this year has been especially an issue because of actions the school has taken in hiring, stuff like that. So there is a much bigger problem this year
All right.
that we want to get ahead of because it's already been impacting residents.
But what we're looking for, what the administration is looking is, the special permit for the residents is in the 12th and 13th Street, and in the 16th Street in front of 15, because Sylvania High is 16 and 15, right?
Commissioner, may I?
And,
Yes.
May I clarify?
Yes, go
well,
Okay.
try to clarify
So
for me, because
this
I don't see
item,
this clear.
came for first reading at the last meeting, and it was intended for the parking situation on the commercial area that you're talking about, but it's because folks are parking on the residential areas between 12th and 13th on 57 and 58.
Right?
At the last meeting, I asked for the item to be amended to include the Sylvania Heights area because the remedy is the same. So we're going to roll out the no parking, residential parking only. So this is to include the Sylvania Heights area, but the remedy is the same.
But
That's
the-
why I asked for it to be included.
Okay, because some residents called me that they saw in the agenda, in the internet, confusion in this item, and I see too. We're talking about the special permit area for the resident is in the 12th and 13 between 57 and 58. And also, because the Sylvania at the school is across the 15 or the 16?
16,
16.
yes.
Okay, because
It's the
it's not
streets
clear here.
adjacent to Sylvania Heights Elementary where workers, employees from the school are parking on the swales of residents every single day.
I know the school, years ago, they make it on the west side, an area for parking. But for years, the people have been parking across the street in the 16. And that is the area we want to protect, right?
Correct, but they're also parking in the neighborhoods now. in
Yeah,
the
but
streets.
neighborhood, in the numbers of the street, we have to put here 15.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the manager to state the streets if he had them
Put the
ready.
name, the numbers, because it's a confusion that they're talking about 12, 13, but in Sylvania, just make a similarity in the problem. But we do not describe clear, and then that's why some residents, I wanted the residents have clear numbers of the streets, so everybody is going to be, everybody understand easy, because this is easy to understand if you put the numbers.
Can we clarify the numbers, the
Okay.
street numbers?
That's not difficult, that's not a problem.
No,
Do the numbers of the street.
it's not, and we were going to do it as part of the resolution. It's going to be obviously 60th Street from 59th to 60th Court, 16th Terrace from 59th to 60th Court, 17th Street from 59th to 60th Court as well, and then on 60th Court from Southwest 16th Street to Southwest 17th, the same with Southwest 59th.
It's not difficult to put the numbers of the street. That's what I want, to put in black and white, because in this case, it's some kind of confusion.
And I
in
just
the-
described,
right?
yes, sir.
I'm
and I-
pretty sure you agree with me this.
And we just described the streets where we're going to do
So
it.
I
and-
understand that, and I agree that we have to do something with the parking. But just explaining clear, that's it. That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
If
That's
I
what
could have a
want.
motion to
Okay.
put those streets
Yeah,
into the record.
I motion to amend the ordinance to include the specific streets where this will take effect.
Once you clear, the street 12, 13, 16, or 17, or 15, it's okay.
Well,
Because then we produce the stickers, right, for the cars, for the neighbors.
Correct.
Okay.
We have a motion as
Yeah.
amended to include the street numbers into the ordinance. Do we have a second on that?
So the residents will be sure that they understand this is the way.
Of course.
Thank you. I know, I agree with that.
Do you second her motion?
Yes?
Okay. You have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote? Commissioner Suarez.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis.
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón.
Yes.
3-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 11E, a resolution of the City of West Miami adopting and implementing the results of the November 5, 2024 election, approving certain amendments to the charter of the City of West Miami, directing the city clerk to file said charter and its amendments with the clerk of Miami-Dade County, and further instructing the city clerk to forward the city charter with its amendments to the Municipal Court Corporation for publication.
Okay. Any questions on this?
No, the clerk have to do it.
A motion?
Motion.
A motion?
Second?
We have a second. All in favor, say aye. Any against? Hearing none, item passes. Next item, please.
Item F, a resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami endorsing and joining in support of Florida's annual Victims of Communism Day and providing for an effective date. This item is sponsored by Vice Mayor Milian Orbis.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Our city is proud to endorse and support Florida's annual Victims of Communism Day, which is observed on November 7th as part of a statewide effort from the Florida House of Representatives, championed by Representative Borrero, Rizzo, and others. This initiative requires the governor to proclaim November 7th as a day to honor the 100 million lives lost under communist regimes around the world. Additionally, beginning in the 2023-24 school year, the bill requires that high school students receive at least 45 minutes of instruction on Victims of Communism Day. This ensures that students learn about the atrocities and communist regimes, the suffering of victims, and the importance of protecting our democratic values. This day and the corresponding week of reflection underscores the legacy of communism, of the devastating impacts of communism on nations like Cuba, China, North Korea, Venezuela, and others, where persecution, economic oppression, and loss of freedoms are destroyed families everywhere. By supporting this resolution, our city not only honors those who have suffered, but also recognizes the contributions of individuals who fled these regimes and enriched our community. And we stand firm in educating future generations about these historical truths and affirming our commitment to preserving liberty and democracy for all. So with that, I ask for your support on this resolution. Thank you, and I'm happy to motion to approve.
I support it, make a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item passes. Thank you for that. Next item, please.
Item G, red light camera report, July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, pursuant to Section 3, Chapter 2024-223, Laws of Florida.
Where's the report? Do you have it?
Yes.
I'm going to have our police chief come up and address the commission, but this is a state requirement that we have to give a report on our red light cameras.
Yep.
Good
Go
evening,
ahead, Chief.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner. From July the 1st, 2023 to June the 30th of this year, 2024, notice violations issued were 20,260. Notice of violations contested were 199. Notice of violations upheld, 46. Notice of violations dismissed, 153. Uniform traffic citations issued, 8,052. Notice of violations paid, $951,870.34. The funds were collected, obviously, by the company. Uniform traffic citations paid were $234,558.89, and that was collected by the Miami-Dade Clerk of the Courts. And the funds were deposited into general fund.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Next item, please.
Item 11H, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, relating to art in public places, accepting an art sculpture to be relocated from our sister city of Hialeah to West Miami, authorizing the city manager to relocate the sculpture from the city of Hialeah, approving the sculpture to be installed at the traffic circle on Southwest 62nd Avenue and Southwest 18th Street near the West Miami Recreation Center, and providing for an effective date. This item is sponsored by administration.
So we want to thank again Mayor Bovo and the City of Hialeah for working with us on this. This started off, frankly, we've been talking with a good long time resident of ours, Pedro Hernandez, who has been trying to do a work with the city for many years, and mentioned to me that they had one in front of City Hialeah City Hall. And after speaking with the mayor over at Hialeah, Steve Bovo, and we were able to come to an agreement to have it transferred back to the city of West Miami. And we've been discussing with the artist about painting the abstract piece one of our city colors, or clothing closer to our city colors in some sort of blue. We do have the sculpture at our facilities where we will prep it and prep the location and get it ready for installation. But I bring it back to the board for any questions, comments, or anything you want to discuss. Go ahead.
Thanks, Mayor. I think it's a great initiative, what we did with the city of Hialeah, and I think it's great to start bringing art into the city and beautifying everything. And I wanted to ask, is this going to go through the art committee, or before we decide on the colors and all that?
Considering that the art committee hasn't been put together yet, wasn't planning on going through the art committee, because the art committee is primarily tasked with, its primary task is obviously distributing any arts and public placing funding. We're going to give it additional roles generally when it comes to art, but because we already have it in our custody and the board hasn't been put together, the plan wasn't to go through there, just because it would take now probably 3 months, if not, to really get that started at this point.
Should we have a review committee within us to
if
discuss
you'd like to, because it's I know we're picking colors and stuff. If you'd like to lead the review committee with staff.
I would
I'd
love
be
to do
happy
that.
to, happy
Thank
to,
you.
I know this is closer to your neighborhood of the
Very
city,
close.
so I'd be happy to have that be the case. So we'll make that as part of this resolution. The vice mayor will lead a committee, Mr. Manager, pick 2 other people from staff, and just to, work out the logistics of the colors and aesthetics of the piece and its location. All right, with that, do you want to make a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion with that amendment. Thank you.
Motion as amended. Commissioner Suarez?
I want to make a comment. This is
Go ahead.
something voluntary by the cities. I listened to you now, and I was listening to Mayor Bobo in the radio the other day. This is a voluntary thing, a cooperation between the cities, so increase the relations, so it's going to be something good for the communities. I agree with that. And our communities are not similar in size, are not similar in many things, but they are similar in our principles, and our working people, family-oriented, so I agree with that, yeah.
We have a second?
Second, yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item passes.
By the way, this have no cost to the city of West Miami.
0. It was a phenomenal collaboration with the city of Hialeah. And we, again, thank Mayor Bovo immensely. Next item, please.
Yes, item 11I, a resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami, Florida, relating to the variance change on the easement FPL side of the property located at 1700 Southwest 62nd Avenue, West Miami, Florida 33155. Authorizing the city manager to enter the variance change on city record and providing for an effective date.
Mr. Manager?
This is an easement for the power that we're using right now for the community center and for the new multi-generational center. There was a power source in the middle of the park, but there was never an easement to it. It was a very old installation, so that's why it probably never had the easement. We had them change the power source closer to the buildings. It makes it more feasible where it's at. If they ever need to get to it, they won't need to take their FP&L trucks over the grass to the transformer. It's right now near the entrance, and we had to create an easement so that they could be able to access it legally at any time. It's really perfunctory at this time. We already installed it, but this is just something that FP&L requested from us to be able to put in the transformer.
Yep.
I have a
And-
question.
go
This
ahead.
is the easement in the south side, right? Of the FPL area, the south, I think it's
The
the south.
easement starts on the south side near 62nd Avenue, near their power station. It runs west and then it's on the east side of the property,
Go
near
that
the
way.
power station. It goes west to where the original transformer was, and then it turns north to their power poles. I mean, we're not going to see it. It's just an easement for them to be able to get
Yeah,
to.
it's a square. I know that.
We have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next
Aye.
item, please.
Item 12, consent agenda items, and you have items on this, as part of this section of the agenda, so if anyone wants to pull any items.
Yeah,
this
most
the
of it
time.
is renewing mutual aid agreements and accepting grant money. So with that, unless anyone else wants to pull any item for discussion, I want to congratulate the administration and Jenny. I know that we're going to tail off to get all the grant money. I think I counted up in this consent agenda alone, 900,000 in grants. So thank you, Mr. Manager. Thank you, Jenny, and the rest of the team who make that possible. And I'm excited for the projects that will come from it. Does anyone else need to pull anything from the consent agenda?
I don't want to pull, I just wanted to say a comment
Go ahead.
on 12C, which is the mutual aid with the chiefs of police. Just, congratulate our chief, because I think this is having great foresight and seeing that we might have to, use this in the future or collaborate with other municipalities. So, this is a great item, and I'm happy with that to move the rest of them.
Motion on consent. Do we have a second? Commissioner, you would like to second the consent agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none. Next item.
Item 13, good of the order.
Anyone for good of the order? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, I would like one last thing, I'm sorry.
Oh, you almost
I
missed
would
it.
like to
All
be
right.
able to congratulate the residents in the police department for putting a very nice national night out last night. We had an incredible turnover. Staff did a wonderful job in getting everything ready. And I remind everybody that our Christmas tree lighting is December the 6th from 5 to 9.
Good catch, yes. The event yesterday was really great, especially, I know last year we didn't have great attendance, and this year it was very, very well attended, and I saw the families having a really good time and interacting with all the capabilities that all our different departments have. And then, correct, December 6th is our annual Christmas tree lighting at Cooper Park, which I'm sure will be a great event, as it always has been. All right, with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
We have a motion. Meeting adjourned.